No, you are not seeing things. No, I have not hacked into the hardware. Nah, this is too raw for TV. And for those of you who are sub to both me and LB, my channel was suspended for content that violated YouTube's community guidelines. What's up? Wait, what? Huh? Yeah, man. YouTube suspended me, man. YouTube suspended old Too Raw for, you know, just basically not being just a monkey. You know what I'm saying? No, 1 week. 1 week they suspended me. What's up, Unique Dawn? Mr. Winters? Oh, reason to take me off. You know what I'm saying? Go to all those people. So that's why I really suggest if you're subscribed to me to go to my Patreon. Okay, only $2 a month, and it's worth it. It's already 350 videos up there. I uploaded today the video that they took down. That's on Patreon. They can't affect me over there. What's up, D Money 100? Yeah, I'll be over here. Yeah, they go LB right there. And I'll be over here for the next week. All I'm gonna say is I get the distinct impression that they're targeting certain people now. That's all I want to say. So, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta outthink these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about Andre the Giant Jabbar. Okay. What's up, Nathan Daniel? Yeah, I want to talk about Andre the Giant Jabbar. Like, do you think I don't know, man. I'm not saying look, I'm not saying that he's a bum. He's not. But I remember when it was first announced he was going to come to the Lakers, and people was trying to anoint him like the next Moses Malone. I was saying, he's probably going to average on the Lakers. I was giving him like about 8 points and about 12 rebounds. You know, I think he will average something like that. You know, he's not on a bad team anymore where he has an excuse to shoot the ball more. He's not the most efficient scorer. Um, you know, he's not going to be a big time scorer. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what's coming to. That's pretty much coming to fruition. You know what I'm saying? Is he the type of guy that can turn around a franchise? No. Is he a good addition to a team to help them become better and maybe a championship level team? That remains to be seen. But I give him that. You know, he's a good addition, but he's not on the level of the all-time great big man. He's not even as good as Pau Gasol. He's not as good as Andrew Bonner. Shaq Drummond. What's up, D Money 100? Oh yeah, he's not. See, this thing that they kept trying to. This is the thing I was trying to tell people on my channel about Drummond, right? And tell anybody. Remember 2 years ago, the media were telling you that centers like Drummond were dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? The traditional low post center that rebound, play good interior defense, shot blocking. They're passe. You know, the new centers are the 3-dimensional. You know, the unicorn guys that can handle the ball and playmakers and shoot from outside and all that. And that guys like Drummond have no value anymore. That's not the case. They're not as focused. They're not the focal point anymore, but they still have value. But now they're trying to tell you and they're trying to convince you because he's they wanted him to go to LA so badly. They're trying to convince you that he's next Will Chamberlain. That's how dishonest they are. See, me, LB, other brothers, Ticket, we're going to tell you the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts. And sometimes you don't want to hear the truth. But the truth is necessary. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is that he's not really Alonzo Mourning on defense. He's adequate, but he lacks lateral quickness. He's kind of slow-footed in some ways, and that leaves him prone to foul trouble. When he's being guarded by athletic dudes that move very well, when he's guarding guys who are athletic and move very well, you see how he becomes a foul machine. Now, did anything I just say, has any of it been incorrect or me hating? It's the truth. But this is my thing. Let me ask you a question. Okay. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, LeBron comes back in about 2 weeks. And then AD comes back maybe the last few games of the regular season. And somehow they gel, you know. Somehow they all work together and they play exceptionally well in the postseason. And the Lakers, join the 95 Rockets and the 69 Celtics, the lowest seeds ever to win a title, right? And let's say in the finals, Drummond averages double-double, like 10 points and 16 rebounds, right? Um, do you think that would make him a Hall of Famer? No, I mean traditional most traditional bigs don't like going out to the perimeter. That's why Shaq hated going against Arvydas Sabonis. Sabonis gave Shaq problems. 1-3-1. Yeah, yeah. I can agree with that. Wait, what? D Money 100 says no. Yeah. I just don't see it, man. And the thing is, if a guy like Ben Wallace isn't in the Hall of Fame, and guys like Rasheed Wallace aren't in the Hall of Fame yet, or Chris Webber, nobody can justify to me how you put Andre Drummond. Shit, LaMarcus Aldridge has a better case still than Drummond. You know what I'm saying? Um, he's just not that dude, man. Surprise team. Mm. Um, it's a toss up between Utah and Phoenix, but I would give the edge to Phoenix because even though I know Chris Paul makes every franchise that he goes to better, and that's very reminiscent of Jason Kidd, I didn't anticipate them doing this well. You know what I'm saying? I didn't anticipate them doing this well in the Western Conference, especially considering Chris Paul's advanced age. I would give Phoenix the edge as far as surprise team. Disappointing team. Mm, I would say Denver. I mean, some of that's going to be the fact because Jamal Murray's now out for the season. Denver is not going to, I mean, go from the Western Conference Finals to, you know, I guess, depending on how they do the rest of the season, potentially. What are they right now? What is Denver's seeding right now? Like fifth? I mean, if they really slide, they may not even make the playoffs. Warriors, I kind of see. I can't really say Warriors because I knew Clay. Clay got injured before the season started, and I figured they would be a team that's going to struggle to get into the playoffs. Like Clay is, look, Steph Curry is tremendous, but Steph Curry isn't LeBron James. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Kobe. He's not that dynamic a player. He's revolutionary, but he's not that dominant a guy, you know what I'm saying, to the point where he could carry a team like that. So I never bet on the Warriors going. Dallas is disappointed. They did slip my mind. Dallas is disappointed. But for some reason, Luka Doncic doesn't get the same heat as other guys. Now I wonder why that is. We know why. I mean, yeah, Michael Porter Jr. might get more minutes, but shit, Mike Malone hates him. Mike Malone hates Michael Porter Jr. I don't know, but they're still going to miss Murray though, because Murray has proven himself to be a big time playoff performer. You know, Portland. Portland has to. They got to prove themselves to me, man. Portland has to prove that they can beat. Well, I will say this: they're not going to have to deal with their kryptonite this year, which is the Golden State Warriors. So they're not going to have to deal with that team. But Portland has to prove to me that they can get to that next level. You know what I'm saying? Portland always plays well toward the tail end of the season. They look great. Dame Lillard might be going off, scoring 50, 60, 40. He might even look good in the first round. But it's like but when they go further and further to the playoffs, teams expose them. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see. Well, I mean, I see what you're saying, Gideon. I mean, the problem. I think it's the coach, the Blazers, and I think part of the problem is, they might need to consider trading McCollum or somebody, man. Like, because McCollum is starting to act like Lillard. You know what I'm saying? Like, just with the shot selection. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just play too much hero ball for me, man. Oh,
For those of you who don't know, my brother Too Raw got his channel suspended for a week. So I let him come on my platform and provide content. Alright? So yeah. As far as Andre the Giant, right? Drummond, look, clearly he's struggling, okay? And if he's struggling like that with no LeBron and AD, it's gonna become even worse when they get back. You know they take up a lot of usage, right? So all them guys that were soaking up
right.
the usage like the Kuzmas and the and the short airs, you know what I'm saying, glorified ball hog, right? Don't that look good?
Mm.
Unique Don? What's up? But let me get what I was about to say. Oh yeah. Um so all those guys usage is gonna go down. Now if they're playing 500 ball, they're like 4-3 in the 7 games those guys been out. They got another game. Now they're not playing tonight because they just came off a back-to-back against the Hornets. But I think they play again tomorrow night. I can't now remember who they playing though. You know off the top two, Rob?
You talking about the Lakers, right?
Right. Oh, they got Boston tomorrow.
Can you
Okay.
hear me?
They should be playing in LA because I think the first game they played in Boston, so this game should be in LA. I think the play-in tournament is, as for me, the play-in tournament. I think the play-in tournament is stupid. You just giving guys the excuse they can't get it done, another avenue to try to get in there. I think the play-in tournament is stupid. And on top of that, I think the play-in tournament is not more than a money grab to get people to And what you think about the play-in tournament?
Um, can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me.
I get you
Press
now.
one if y'all can hear me. Um,
I get you too, Raw.
I don't like it. The playing tournament. I mean, some people like it. I don't really like it, man. It's gimmicky to me, man. I don't understand why. Okay, you can hear me. I don't understand why they added this into the playoff situation. Like, I don't know. I just don't like all these changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that playoff seeding should be determined from the regular season. You know what I'm saying? I don't like all this extra shit, man. It reminds me of like, stuff they do in baseball or like the college thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like
Yeah, I don't like that neither. I think it's not more than a money grab, to be honest with you. Hey, am I sounding low too, Raw? Yeah, I don't like that playing tournament, man. That's one thing they need to get rid of and all. You know, it's bad enough that people are benefiting from all these rules changes and stuff like that. All right, all right, you guys. I'm back here. I know Two Raw got a lot of technical difficulties right now with his microphone. So until he gets back, it'll be the regularly scheduled program. Now, for those of you not aware, my brother Two Raw got suspended for a week. He's going to be providing content on my platform for the next week. So if he comes on during random time stuff like that, that's why. So hey, make sure that y'all support my brother Two Raw for TV, and we gonna get it cracking. I mean, it might have value. I just don't like it. And if they're trying to cut down on
it.
games and stuff like, yeah, yeah. What's up, Two Raw?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, okay. Now, for some reason, I had to put my earbud in. For some reason, when you were talking, it was really, really, really low on my end. I couldn't hear you. So I said, let me put my earbud in and see if I can hear you. Now I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I had to take off my Bluetooth because the Bluetooth in my car is is causing things to sound low. So I got to get that looked at because, like, whenever I try to talk via my Bluetooth, a lot of people can't hear me. Oh no, enough my Bluetooth via Apple CarPlay.
Okay, that's what it might be then. Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Well, now
nothing
I
on
can hear you
your end.
fine. Okay, now
Yeah,
I can
so
hear you fine.
yeah. So it's nothing on your end. It's just on my end. I had to get off of Apple CarPlay to be able to talk because it'll sound low if I didn't.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I had to put my ear to. I literally had my ear to the phone, like I can't hear him. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like the in tournament play. I just don't. I don't like when the NBA like keeps making all these changes. Maybe I'm just reactionary, but I like things the way they were. You know what I'm saying? I actually liked it when it was that's the 5 first round, that's the 7 next 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Then they added some more games. Like, okay, to me, it's just an excuse to have more games.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying? That's just how I look at it. It's just an excuse to have more games. Just like in the NFL, they're trying to expand to a 17 game season. You know what I'm saying? Even though there's already evidence that shows that these players are increasingly, what I'm saying, suffering from, CTE and other things. You know what I'm saying? So it's an excuse to add more games.
yep. Money. At the end of the day, it all
Yeah,
revolves around money.
yeah,
They say they see these players more of as an object that's expendable than actual human beings because they know at the end of the day, people are going to watch, people are going to go to games, and people are going to pay their money to see it.
yeah. That's
So
what I'm saying. Wait, that's what I'm saying. Wait, it is a different animal, but that they really don't need any more games because they've already expanded. It used to be 12 games decades and decades ago when Jim Brown was playing. It was a 12 game season. Then they expanded to 14 games, I think, sometime in the 70s, and then 16 games. And
in the
trying to make it
90s,
17 games. Oh, yeah, the 90s. And trying to make it 17 games. Come on now, it's too much.
yeah, I think one thing they should do instead of making it 15-minute quarters, they should make it like 10-minute quarters.
In the NFL,
Right. If they're gonna do some kind of change instead
yeah,
of making it 15-minute quarters, make it 10-minute quarters. That's less wear and tear on the body. If you're gonna do that, but hey, you know how I feel about
yeah.
football right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
I
You
know,
know,
I know, I know. I don't really mess with them either. But yeah, back to the NBA. Yeah, I don't really particularly care for the thing, man. I know why they're doing it. They can try to hype and hoopla and pom pom it, but I know what it's about. I know it's about money. You know what I'm saying?
hell yeah. We talk about white people here, white people that got billions of dollars. That's all driven by money, power, and greed. Period.
Don Gill said you should take the top 16 teams. Period. No Eastern Western Conference seeding. Uh, I don't agree with that.
I don't know
Um,
if I agree with that, but
I know what he's talking about. Like some years ago, like the Western Conference definitely were the more talented conference. And you had eight seeds that were damn near winning 50 games. And then in the East, you had eight seeds that only won 30 games. I get where he's coming from, but I don't like that because it's overrepresentation with one conference. Like literally, you'll have only like four teams from the East in the playoff. Like I don't agree with that.
yeah, and hey, I got a harsh. It's a harsh take, but it's a simple take. If you want to make the playoffs, win your games in the regular season. Period. If you don't win your games in the regular season, then don't bitch when you don't make the playoffs. Period.
Yeah. I know where Don's coming from, though. I get where he's coming
Yeah,
from.
yeah, because you have
But
50 win teams. Because remember in the Western Conference one year you had like 50 win teams not making the playoffs.
right. Yeah. The AC was like 50 and 32, literally 50 and 32 and not making the playoffs. But they were in the Eastern Conference, you know what I'm saying? They would probably be like the second seed or something. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
But I
teams getting
mean,
into losing records.
right.
But but why I want to we got to be careful is we just can't take one-offs and go high and right for one-off. You're right. You know what I'm saying? Because in all the seasons in the NBA, right? NBA been around damn near that 75 years. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we not. Hey, Don Gio. Hey, what just? Hey, we not shitting on your opinion, whatever like that, bro. We, it was a good take. I just didn't agree with your take. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I didn't agree with it is a good take. I just didn't agree with it, and the reason why I didn't agree with it is because we're taking a situation that like basically a one-off, and then we're going higher right for one-off to compensate for that one-off, right? Typically, you don't have losing teams getting in the playoffs, stuff like that, typically speaking. And typically, you don't have 50 win
Mm-hmm.
teams being eighth seeds. So we can't, what we got to be careful of is, trying to go high and right for a one off. That's why I don't agree with the take. But it's a good take. I just didn't agree with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
And then another thing, and Wait Wahab he put a comment on there, right? I like this comment. So traveling and the games and stuff like that. But the NBA needs, but truly, to me, the NBA needs to get their rules need to get the act together on what they consider traveling. Because guys is taking on the 3 and 4 steps and they ain't calling traveling, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Look, I used to look at some old games. They don't really come on TV anymore. I used to look at some old games from the 60s and 70s, and the officials were pretty good at calling traveling. Did they miss some calls? Yeah. But I didn't get the impression that the NBA were not calling calls just because guys were superstars. I saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar travel and they would call it. I saw Julius Erving. Now, I will say this: if it's one guy that I could blame for starting that shit, it might be Julius Erving because, and I think LB popped out a little bit. Let me see if I can add him again. You there, bro?
Yeah. I intentionally dropped out because I want you to have the floor to yourself.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, my
Yeah.
bad.
I want you to have.
But
Yeah, this your floor.
oh, okay. But yeah, one thing one person I think might have started it a little bit might be Dr. J. You know what I'm saying? Because then it started becoming more about the show, more and more. And so sometimes when you have these spectacular moves, in order to do these moves, sometimes you do take an extra step. So, it might be games when Julius Erving technically traveled, but the officials were told to kind of overlook it as long as it wasn't obvious. And then you know, I think during the 80s, that's when we start seeing a trend where they stopped calling or gradually kind of eased off on calling certain calls against superstars in certain situations. And then I think it got worse and worse and worse. Now that's the point where, like you saying, dudes are traveling all over the court and they're not even calling it. I can't even remember the last time I watched a game and they called traveling. Oh, I thought you said traveling. I thought you were talking about traveling as far as in the games. Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. I misread what you said. Right. That is a good point about the conference thing. It would be more travel because um you have to be playing teams that are 3,000 miles away at times. That's a good point. Yeah, I misread that. But hey, even though you didn't mean that, that's still a good point, though, right? They don't call travel anymore. I don't see it. And LeBron, and not to shit on him, but LeBron James, man, I just seen a sequence where he took 5 steps. This motherfucker took 4, 5 steps. That nigga took a vacation. You said how do I feel about big twos with a soil team versus three-headed monster team? What do you mean by that? He took the Greyhound. What do you mean big twos with the soil team versus three-headed monster team? You mean like a typical team with like two all-stars and a solid supporting cast versus like the latest trend with like three superstars on one team? Is that what you meant? I just want to make sure that's what you meant. Because usually, like you said, most championship teams might have two all-star level players, two all-star. Okay, that's what you meant. All right. Um, Look, uh, I don't have a problem with a team that has three or more all-stars if it happened organically. Like with San Antonio, for instance, they drafted David Robinson. Okay, David Robinson was a star at San Antonio Spurs for the early to mid 1990s. He didn't have the greatest supporting cast, but because of how great a player he was, he did have some other solid players. They went to the playoffs most of the time. He got hurt in 96, 97. They were a terrible team. They were only 20-62, I think, during the regular season. And because of that, they got the first pick, which was Tim Duncan. Okay, this isn't collusion. That it just happened. So now when Dave Robinson comes back, he's not quite the same player, but now you got a Hall of Fame caliber player with Tim Duncan. Then later on, they acquire Manu Ginobili, and then they get Tony Parker. But it's not like some conspiring thing where, it's collusion and it's already three established stars and they team up purposely to try to win titles. I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron James, to me, started that. And some people might say Boston, but I don't think they conspired. You know what I'm saying? They made a trade to get Kevin Garnett and sign Ray Allen free agent. That's not conspiring. What LeBron did, to me, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't get past his Boston Celtic team and he felt like Cleveland wasn't going to be the team that he was going to win a title with, he went to Miami, was going to try to get Carmelo, but Carmelo went over to New York to do his own thing. So he got Chris Bosh. You know what I'm saying? To me, I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? What Durant did, he claimed he didn't go to Golden State to win championships, but because it'd be fun. Bullshit. Come on, man. I mean, it might be because of the way they playing basketball, but I mean, I don't like this. I don't like it, man. I really don't. I don't like this trend where guys are stacking the deck to try to, increase their odds of winning titles. I don't like it. A team with two superstars and role players. Yeah. I mean, technically, didn't we see that with Toronto? I mean, the only superstar they had was Kawhi Leonard. Kyle Lowry's not a superstar. I mean, he's a borderline all-star level guard, I guess. I guess you would call him an all-star. Yeah, I guess he's all-star level. Pascal Siakam, he's not a superstar, even though people thought he was going to be. And they had really good players, role players, but they only really had one superstar. They were a good defensive team, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, in this day and age, with the right talent and the right coaching, you can still win a championship with two all-star level players, or at least one superstar and one all-star level player and good role players. I do think it takes one superstar level player though, unless it's a team with more than two all-star level players. Like I would say Detroit fits in that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Rasheed Wallace was an all-star level player with during his best years. Rip Hamilton was close to an all-star level player. Ben Wallace, even though he was limited offensively, was an all-star level player because of his extraordinary defense. So you got a team like that with a lot of really good players, you know what I'm saying, a good bench, you can win a championship that way. You don't always have to be stacking the deck. The problem to me is these guys don't want to go through that grind. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys, they kind of, what I'm saying, don't want to get their champion. A lot of them are afraid of losing and the criticisms and, all this. And the media puts so much pressure on these guys too, because the media kind of pressures some of these guys to team up. You know what I'm saying? The ones that they want to team up. And then if you don't win a championship, they make it seem like you are unfulfilled or you're not a great player, which is bullshit. Bullshit, man. When I was growing up, they viewed a great player based on how you perform, both regular season and playoffs. And if you happen to win a championship, that adds to it. It's like your career back then was the cupcake, and the championship was the little cherry on top. You know what I'm saying? But most of it, 99%, was your career. Now it's to the point where the championship outweighs your career. And I have a problem with that because not everybody's going to be in that situation to win a championship. Oh, man, what do you mean? You says, wait, what? Says, come on, big dog. If we only talking talking basketball without any human emotion, LeBron and KD tested their skills even more. I'll explain that take whenever the panel is open. What are you talking about? I'm saying that part of the problem is the media puts pressure on these guys to win titles. I mean, even if LeBron James never won any championship, I would still have him a top 10 player now, even without titles, based upon what he's accomplished. Durant, without any titles, would be top 25 to me right now. So I still will hold him in high regard. What I'm saying is the championship thing has gotten way out overboard. Yeah. I mean, look, top 10. Look, Jerry West has a title and he's not considered top 10 anymore. Maybe 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Karl Malone is close to a top 10 all-time player in my book. He's like top 15. Charles Barkley, top 15 to 20. They don't have championships. I mean, look at this. Look. This is how you know championships are overrated. Does anybody really believe, right? Does anybody really truly believe that Bill Russell is a better overall player than Charles Barkley? I mean, maybe somebody do. I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bill Russell is a revolutionary defensive player, tremendous shot blocker, tremendous rebounder. But a lot of his game is overstated, man. He was a tremendous athlete who was 6'10, 240, but he still only shot 44% from the floor. We're not talking about some dude that was a mid-range shooter. This is a guy that was a traditional interior low post scorer and was more athletic than anybody in the league except for Will Chamberlain. And you only shot 44% from the floor? Look, Tim Duncan to me is top 10. So how am I putting Charles Barkley ahead of Tim Duncan? I mean, a lot of guys, I don't think they really saw Charles Barkley play. Because you can make an argument that Charles Barkley was more dominant than Tim Duncan as a player. At least on the offensive end. Now, defensively, no. Offensively, yeah. Charles Barkley is one of the most efficient players we've ever had in the history of the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, I don't know, man. Maybe I just look at things differently than people, man. Like, yeah, I think Charles Barkley's top 15 to 20. What is so absurd about that tape? I'm trying to figure out what's absurd about that tape. I never understood this. Like, all of a sudden, Bill Russell gets nothing but praise and adulation because he won 11 titles, but people are crapping on Kareem and Wilt? What in the hell? That's how I know championships are being overstated now. Nah, man. I look. Um, to me, Charles Barkley is top 20. Not everybody in that top 20 has championships. Okay. Um, Elgin Baylor is borderline top 20, and he has an honorary ring, I guess, you know, for the 72 season, even though he didn't play for only but 9 games, I think. But Karl Malone to me is top 20. He never won a title. I think John Stockton's like top 30, I guess. I put in their range, top 30-ish. You say I look at skills and drive. Okay, I understand. Everybody have their different criteria for how they judge players. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying everybody should agree with me. I'm just saying, like, I thought he was saying that my take was ridiculous. I'm like, Mm. Dirk top 20. I got Dirk like around, yeah, I got Dirk sort of like top 20, 25, somewhere in that range. Yeah, I got him right there too. I have Garnett, I think, right ahead of him. You know, I have Garnett right ahead of Dirk. But the thing about Dirk is this though, man. Dirk may have lost a lot in the playoffs, but I want somebody to do something, do me a favor. The year that he won the MVP, right? And they won 67 games, I think. Look at that roster. That's the same year that they lost, I think it's 6 to the Warriors in the first round. Look at that roster and tell me that does that look like a 67 win team? You talk about somebody that didn't play another superstar. I think his best teammate was what's the dude, man? That I think he got traded to the Wizards. That's the last time people heard about him. What's his name, man? Nah, not him. Not Jason Terry. I don't know if Finley was still there in 2007. He might have been. I think Mike Finley was kind of like starting to decline by then. Josh Howard. Josh Howard. Josh Howard. And, oh, he just posted. I think Josh Howard was his second best teammate. I would say by then, right? Josh Howard. I think Josh Howard. I think Jason Terry was there then. Those were his two best teammates. Steve Nash was at Phoenix by then. That he did not have a super team. Even when he won the championship in 2011, that wasn't the greatest roster around Dirk. So yeah, Dirk was a very impactful player, and he was revolutionary. And that's why I get a little offended when people say that Steph Curry was the one that ushered in the 3-point shot, because I would say Nowitzki has something to do with that too. Wouldn't you say? Dirk was the first 7-footer that we saw that could shoot the three that consistently, and you know what I'm saying, and in and in multitudes of ways, and then and so prolifically. You know what I'm saying? That we had guys that could make them, like uh Bill Lambier could make them, you know, Terry Mills, Sigma, but they weren't guys that could, you know what I'm saying, could do it in the variety of ways that Dirk Nowitzki could. They didn't have his range. You know what I'm saying? They were more spot up 3-point shooters. Or the little kick, or the little kick, the one lady kick fall away jumper. Yeah. Nah, before Dirk, you didn't see that. And I think Dirk, isn't he about to go into the Hall of Fame? No, 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 no. He's not about to go. When did he retire? 2019? So I guess Dirk going in about 2024, 2023. I'm glad that he got that championship though, man. So, um, I'm about to open up the chat. Oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that right now. Can I? Let me see something. Oh no, I can't do that. Oh yeah, I can do that. All right. So I'm about to yeah, he said yes you can. I had to kind of check because I said yeah, I had to check because all right. So I put a link in the chat room. Now the reason why I was like, can I do it? Because I looked and saw that I'm still logged into my channel, but yeah, I forgot I can't do it because this video is on. So if anybody want to come in and talk about whatever, you know what I'm saying? Y'all come in. I just hope with the Nets, man. I'm not like, you know what I'm saying, rooting for any particular team, but it'd be a damn shame with the Nets if they don't win the title this year, man. Because it'd be a damn shame with the Nets.
Hey, what's good, too, Raw?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I liked all your takes, homie. I love the way you see the game of basketball. You show respect to the OGs, not just dick ride these new age era guys. I respect that, man. How do you feel about the Raptors? I'm sorry, the Clippers. Going up against a team like the Nets, they're stacked, but I feel like the Clippers are built the right way. How do you feel?
I think they have a chance. I think what's going on with the Clippers is a lot of people built them up so much last year, right?
Yeah.
Only to see them completely fold in the playoffs like that. So people are kind of afraid to pick them, like go all out for them. So it's like it's a wait and see thing with them. I definitely think the addition of Rondo definitely helps them. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the playoffs. They have a chance. They definitely have a chance. It's just that they're kind of like more under the radar this year, man, because like, look, man, the way that they shit the bed against Denver in 3 straight games, man.
Yeah, but come on, too, Raw. Our headspace wasn't right, and I feel like
I get that.
if you recall how we were all feeling at that time, it was. I'm gonna turn my camera on. All right, so it was a different type of time, right? Everybody was emotionally off guard. Homie had just gotten killed. It was just so bad. Nobody wanted to be there. The Clippers did not want to be there.
That's a good point.
And not just that, bro. What was it? Montrezl Harrell. We had a snake in the grass, and he made his way into the house. Like, fuck, man. I
It
love
could. I mean,
that team,
yeah.
but it was just a rough time last year. I won't make excuses because if
No,
you
no.
have
I
a
know what you do.
low,
I know what you're saying, and those things probably did play factors. because something was off with that team. You could see it. Like they were not together. There was a lot of dysfunction with that team. Um, and that's something a lot of us didn't notice. So maybe we'll see a difference this year. But a lot of people obviously are cautious. I mean, you can't blame them for that. Like, I mean, what we saw last year was a historic collapse,
Yeah.
and you know, it was avoidable if they simply, and some of it had, a lot of it has to do with the coach too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Which
big facts. The problem with last year is we were scared to make the tough decisions, right? Like when Jokic was cooking Trez every single time down the court, and they were scared because of the overall perception that Trez was better than Zubac. And if you just use the eye test, the simple basketball eye test, you would have seen that Zubac was the right way to go for everybody. Everybody wanted to see Zoo do more, but yeah, no more like bubble stuff, man. Sorry to even bring that up. I guess it's still like affecting Clipper fans, bro. But what's up,
no, you
LB?
good.
What up, homie?
What's up, man? My whole take on the whole situation with the Clippers is right. They were overwhelming favorites last year to go to the NBA Finals, and yeah, we talk about the blown 3-1 series lead, and you had a lead in every game, had a double-digit lead in every game, you know. So it's like, oh man, I mean that really left a bad taste in people's mouths. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, this sounds like some degenerate feedback going on.
I wonder if it's. Let me see something. Let me try something. Let me turn my mic.
I think we have the same team this year with Rondo and that's like Serge.
Oh, it's Don Gio. It's Don Gio got the feedback.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna mute your mic for a second, Don Gio. Yeah. So so they had a lead in every game and they blew it. And I mean, there was. I mean, the owner was really pissed about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's his face? Steve Ballmer. He was really
Steve
pissed at the
Ballmer.
Clippers. Yeah, Steve Ballmer was really pissed that they blew a 16-point lead, a 19-point lead, and a 12-point lead. And heads was going to roll. There was no way motherfuckers was going to survive that. So it's like, you know,
No, I know what
a
you're
lot of
saying.
people in a wait and see approach. And if you look at what's going on now, guys are still not playing games. Like Kawhi, Paul George not playing tonight. Kawhi played like Kawhi didn't play last night. Paul George played like goddamn near 38 minutes. I was shocked because I thought he was going to have a goddamn issue with dizziness again. But so
Is it me? Is it just me, LB, or does Paul George have a tendency? Not every time, but does he have a tendency to come up short against marquee teams?
um yeah, especially in the playoffs. In the regular season, not so much in the regular season, but in the playoffs,
Yeah,
oh
not so
hell
much in
yeah.
regular season. Yeah, it's just a pattern with him. Like and in elimination games and critical like games that the team need, it's like he just has this tendency. It's like those are the games he go 3 for 19 and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, man. I'm not trying to shit on Paul George, man, but like LB saying, with this team, it's just caution. It's caution, man. Like they look good, but they miss games. In the playoffs, you have to play stretches of games. And remember when they won the title, when Toronto won the title in the finals, Kawhi Leonard was noticeably limping. So
hmm
you question that, like his health. So I don't know, man. It's just a lot of caution with this team, man.
And it's like we've seen this movie before. with this team, right? And you know, Serge Ibaka hadn't played damn near a month with his back, and then you had I think Marcus Morris missed some time, and Patrick Beverly missed some time, and Rondo with his, you know, I think that motherfucker got fingers like Twix, man. Because every time you turn your head, he breaking a goddamn, he breaking a pinky finger, he breaking a goddamn index finger, for real.
I thought you were gonna say he had literally. I thought you were gonna say he literally had crispy, crunchy butterfingers. Yeah, he do be breaking his fingers a lot, man.
Yeah. I might just shit. I don't know if he got real fingers or fingers for like a Kit Kat or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Yeah, the Raptors did have injuries in 2019. That's true.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But you know, so I mean, you. So you ever heard that song back in the day off the 90 Professor soundtrack? Touch me, tease me. That song right there with Case, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what the Clippers are. I think the Clippers are a fucking tease. You know what I'm saying? I think they are. I mean, we want to make this proclamation that this team can go to the Western Conference Finals or whatever, or even in the NBA Finals. But I mean, if you really think about it, there are a lot of questions with the team. I know they got a good record and all that, but there's a lot of questions about this team. And I believe the same questions that they had last year lingers on this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
But the difference is this year, the people, including myself, who are making excuses and ignoring what the critics were saying, now we kind of listen a little bit more because, okay, you know, you did kind of forget that chemistry does matter. You know what I'm saying? And health does matter. And, you know, and some of that stuff that we can't see does matter, like, you know, internal issues, you know, guys not getting along, and, you know, that stuff does sometimes manifest on the court, especially when you got guys today who are not as professional. I'm just being honest. In my opinion, a lot of these guys are not as professional as guys were in the past, you know, where guys could be ready to fight each other, but on the court, you didn't see that shit, you know, but it is what it is.
Right. So, you know, it's so I mean, you got, so there was not this lingering question about the Denver Nuggets. You know, with Jamal Murray being out, they still got a. I still believe they got a deep roster. You know what I'm saying? And they still, and you know, they got options they can put at the point guard. They got Monte Morris, Jeremy, Frank Campazzo, a guy that they use in some situations or whatever like that when Monte Morris and Jamal Murray was out. Hell, they can put Will Barton at the point, and they can put fucking you know, they can. This ain't the point of the year to be experimenting, but they really want to get ganked. They really want to, you know, try things out. Hell, Eric Gordon has played the point when he was with Orlando, so it's not like. And or they can get really radical and bring in Bull Board. Bull Board ran the point at goddamn Baylor. No, they played.
Right.
They played college ball at Baylor, right?
Bobo.
Yeah. Hold on, let me look. Where he plays college ball at? Shit, not that one. Bobo. He played at Oregon. He played at Oregon. Yeah. So he ran the point at Oregon. Hell, he did some point at times when they were in the bubble last year, right? So it's not like the Denver Nuggets are devoid of options. It's just that, you know, they got an idiot of a head coach. You know?
Yeah, I think that's really understated. Mike Malone's coaching is part of the problem.
He is awful, man. They went in spite of him, just like Terry Stotts. They went in spite of him and not because of him.
Right.
So with Jamal Murray being out, obviously Jokic is going to get a bump, and then Michael Porter Jr. Now this is where I will see Michael Porter Jr. taking the next step.
Do you think that Malone will get in his way again?
It would not shock me if he did.
That'll end up getting his ass fired up. You know.
Hey, I did say he was one of the coaches on the hot seat, despite the fact that he got a contract extension at the end of last year.
Right.
But I mean, the Denver Nuggets, if they really get their act together, I really believe they have the team.
Well, how far do you think this team can go realistically?
Realistically,
even without Jamal Murray.
At best, I see them
think
the second round.
Second round.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming you don't think they could beat like the Lakers or the Clippers.
They might could be the Clippers.
Might could be the Clippers. Okay.
They might, depending on what Paul George decides to show up.
Right. So let me see.
Oh no! Hold on. I take that back. Because they can play them. They got DeMarcus Cousins now, and DeMarcus Cousins is a fucking beast. I don't see the Nuggets beating the Clippers. No.
Yeah. So all right. So
and they got Rondo. So no.
Yeah. To me, if there's any hope for the Clippers to go far, it's those two additions you just named. It's not that I don't have faith in Kawhi Leonard, but I don't have him in my mind as high up in the NBA hierarchy as I did before. Like I had him as the best player in the NBA at one point, outside of Kevin Durant, who was injured.
Kawhi?
Like I had him. Yeah, at one point,
okay.
I had him in that vicinity because remember Durant was injured last year,
right?
And I thought that because remember this is coming off 2019, so I had him at one point the best player in the league, and the best player in the NBA doesn't perform the way that he was performing in the playoffs, well, especially in the series that got eliminated. So to me, I've tacked him back down like just top 5, somewhere in that range.
Right.
And until he shows otherwise, I just have him as top 5. But let me ask you this: what do you think about the Phoenix Suns?
That's a team I want. That's not a team I want to play, bro. I'm telling you right now, that is not a team you want to see in the playoffs, man. I'm telling you, man.
I know.
Now, this is one slight caveat. What's up, Jacob Jennings? Salute to the homie Jacob Jennings in the building. It's one slight caveat, right? Because Chris Paul, for as good as he is in the regular season, what doesn't get talked about enough? He's had some postseason shortcomings too, and some of it was due to injury.
Yeah.
Some of it was due to injury. Others was due to underperforming. What's up, Gideon?
I'll just make this quick.
Hold on a second, Gideon.
Sorry. I apologize.
So, others was due to injury. Others was due to performances that were subpar. But if he can stay healthy, I think the Phoenix Suns is a team that I would not want to see in the playoffs, man.
They are deep, man. Yeah. They are deep.
Hey, Gideon.
If you look at who they got, right? Devin Booker, Devin Booker could score the basketball. Mikal Bridges, arguably one of the best wing defenders in the NBA, right? DeAndre Ayton, when he's not, when he's out there looking 22, He out there at 22, looking like he 42, right? But if he can play, they got Jay Crowder, so they got that mental toughness about them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So look, man, this team here is not a team I want to see in the playoffs, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Now
like
the one Achilles heel the Phoenix Suns might have is they don't have the best power forwards.
And
Right, Jay Crowder
experience
is
a little bit.
undersized. Um, Darius Saric, while he's a good offensive guy, he's not really a good defender. Frank Kaminsky, awful, right? So that could be the one Achilles heel down low. Because if DeAndre Ayton gets in foul trouble, who they really got the man to paint down there? So if there's one concern, it'll be that. But outside of that, not a team I want to see in the playoffs, bro.
True.
So what you got, G Money Grand?
For me, Phoenix, I think they can get to the second round. I don't think they'll make the Western Conference Finals because I think they're a little bit young, in my opinion. But Phoenix is going to be a tough out, man. They have depth, good shooting. Devin Booker is playing phenomenal. He started off slowly, but he's starting to pick it up a little bit. Chris Paul, he's been balling out. DeAndre Ayton's done his thing. I think the Suns are a year or two away from really becoming title contenders.
but let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Do you think Chris Paul is going to be the same player in 2 or 3 years?
He may not, because when you get older, your skills starting to diminish a little bit though.
Right. He's what, 36?
Around that, I just don't think the Suns will win the title this season. Yeah, they have a lot of time, but I don't think they're going to win the title this year because I think that the Lakers fully healthy, the Clippers fully healthy are more complete than the Suns, in my opinion. So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay, wait, what you got, Brad?
Yo, shout out to the panel, shout out to the chat.
Shut up.
Salute to LB for the platform. Yo, so check me out. Like, all right, all for real. I got a couple things I want to holler at too raw about, but I'm gonna answer your question first, LB. It gotta be out of Denver Nuggets, LA, either one, and that's the 4 teams I expect to be in the Western Conference. Anything below those accomplishments for them teams, I think it'll be a disappointment for them individual organizations because the simple fact that now we finally got Nurkic, CJ, and Dame at the same time, all together, all healthy. We haven't had them
I
like
don't
that.
believe in the Blazers in the playoffs.
Let me finish. So, like
Sorry,
I
man.
said, like I'm just saying, like I have them more. Just you gotta understand, like them three have been trying to get together in the playoffs for so long, and you seen that game last night. Even though Boston won, the continuity of how they flowing and going in and out, and then you got Melo coming off the bench as well. Yo, like I really believe that Portland is getting something together right now, and a lot of people sleeping on that. With
Bro,
Denver,
I've watched the Blazers a lot. Look how they lost that game. Carmelo Anthony was lining it up the whole game. You want to hear this? In the last 7 minutes, he only took one shot. One. Think about that. Down by one. Dame took a fadeaway mid-range shot rather than attacking the basket. Down by one. Then the following possession, they had CJ McCollum guarding Jason Tatum at the top of the key, which made no sense whatsoever, and Tatum burned it with a three. Look, I know
listen.
Portland has some
Okay.
talent, but I don't see this team going far because many reasons. Dame and CJ don't play smart against high IQ basketball teams. 2, Terry Stotts does not make adjustments. And 3, I'm sorry. Every time Carmelo or a guy can get hot, Dame and CJ can dribble the ball out the air out the ball and don't rely on their teammates a lot. That is why I don't see Portland going far in the playoffs, though. At best, depending on matchup, maybe the second round. And even then, if they get a bad matchup like the Lakers or the Clippers in the first round, they're going home.
All right. So, if you don't mind, let me respond to that. Hey, so check me out. Listen. First of all, when that game last night, it got down to the last final minute. like the last final seconds. Let's be honest. CJ was still flowing, and everybody else was flowing throughout the ins and outs of the game. Two, Powell. Like you forgot the placement piece they got from Raptors. Powell is like a super good what they need on the wing to do the defensive end. Like I get what
Norman
you're saying.
Powell.
Like right, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So like I said, like when they get to the playoffs and everything, like you gotta understand, regular season is the ins and outs. You gotta understand that these teams, like in the playoffs, is different because you studying them teams. If you've seen the last playoffs records for the Portland Trailblazers for the last couple of years compared to how you talking about them, it's a totally night and day. Like I said, just like let's not forget, just 2 years ago they was in the Western Conference Finals.
I don't
They was just
care.
in
They
this,
got swept in the
and they
Western
just
Conference Finals.
you don't care because you're not putting in that work. Like the fact that sometimes people come on here and actually just like nonchalant, like you gotta actually watch the games. I know you
I
probably watch
watch the
highlights.
games. I'm a Knicks. I watch a whole lot of Blazer games.
But
You can think what
you a
you
Knicks
want,
fan?
but you
You a Knicks fan?
yes, and we're actually playing well this year.
Mm.
My point I'm saying is this: we're giving this team a cookie getting to the Western Conference Final, but they were swept by a banged up Warriors team without Kevin Durant. Just hear me out here: no Kevin Durant, no Boogie Cousins. Clay shot 38% in the series, and don't forget, Portland was up 17 or more against 2, 3, and 4. I'm not gonna give the Blazers a cookie getting that far. And then getting swept by a banged up Warriors team last year. I understand the Blazers were an 8 seed. I get that. But they got killed by the Lakers in 5 games, and people forget about this. Rondo did not play in the first round, and neither did Avery Bradley. So I can't just give Portland just a cookie getting to the conference final and getting swept and being up 17 for 3 games in a row, and then last year getting destroyed in 5 games while a banged up Miami Heat team with no Goran Dragic, a banged up Bam Adebayo, and a hobble Jimmy Butler took that team 6 games with Rondo. I'm sorry, I don't trust the Blazers in the playoffs.
All right, let me ask you a question between them two different between Portland and Miami. What did they have different between them from last year? We just want to talk about last year's team. What did they have different
They
between
had
both
better
of them teams?
coaching. That was that better
Wrong.
coaching.
Besides that, besides coaching, all right, we already know Eric is already on a different level. What else besides that? I'm talking about player wise. Player wise. Come on.
Dude, let's use some common sense here. The Miami
I'm
Heat
asking you a
weren't supposed
question.
to.
Answer the question though.
I'm
Answer the
answering that
question.
question.
I,
I am going to
you go,
answer it.
bro.
Can I
You going all
answer?
over the place. Go ahead.
No,
I'm
can I
asking you, what's
answer?
the difference? Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. All right.
Go.
What I'm saying is this. Let's also be honest here. Okay. Miami had injuries themselves. And also, you have to also be honest. Tyler Hero's a good player, but he was inconsistent in the finals, though. Also, Goran Dragic was banged up the whole series. He only played 2 games the
I
whole
know.
series.
I'm not talking about the
Let's
Heat
not act
lineup.
as Miami had no expectations going to the finals. No one picked Miami to even win more than a game versus the Lakers. Nobody. And he
Let me
won
ask you.
2 games without a point guard and virtually a hobble center. That's what you need to understand.
Listen. Let me, like I said, Portland did not have a big man presence. They did not have an answer for AD.
Nurkic and
That's why
Nurkic, what are
they
you
got
talking about?
Nurkic wasn't
And
Nurkic. Yo, Nurkic was hurt last year. What are you talking
he
about?
played, though. He was in the playoffs. He
He was
played.
hurt. He was
Doesn't
hurt.
matter. He played.
Look at you. You don't understand the concept of actual full strength compared to just playing. Like
Miami was
obviously
not
he
a full
played.
strength. What are you
He's a
telling me?
body.
Miami was not a full strength last year, and it took the Lakers 6 games.
What that
You're
mean though?
not giving me a
Like
solid argument to this point. Miami was not a
I'm
full
not trying.
strength. It took the Lakers 6 games.
If you like I said, this team right now is going into the playoffs healthy with these
All
three
right, so
players
it
with
all
Powell.
right.
All right, hey, like, cause I see that you just arguing just to argue.
I'm
I'm just
not
giving out
arguing just
statements.
to argue. I'm giving you logical facts to back up my argument.
First
You're
of all,
giving me
one,
excuses.
hold on. You give me first of all earlier in this chat you were talking about you compared them to who Westbrook and Bradley Beal, correct? That you said something
My
about.
point is this, though.
Hey,
I
hold
think.
on. I got some breaking news. This ain't got nothing to do with basketball. But Bernie Madoff passed away in prison.
Oh yeah, I found it out this morning.
Now, if y'all know
Yeah,
who Bernie Madoff is, he's one of the biggest Ponzi schemers in the history of America, right?
Wow, rest in peace.
No, rest in piss.
yeah, wrestling shit.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it was about 15. What was it, about 15 years ago? That scheme.
Yeah, he got busted.
Yeah.
So, coming from the Washington Times, Bernard Madoff, the financier who pleaded guilty to orchestrating a massive Ponzi scheme, died in federal prison early Wednesday. He died at the Federal Medical Center in Butner, North Carolina, apparently from natural causes. The person was not authorized to speak publicly and spoke to the AP on the condition of anonymity. Now, last year, Madoff's lawyers filed court papers to try to get the 82-year-old released from prison. And the COVID-19 pandemic, say he has suffered from end-stage renal disease and other chronic medical conditions. The request is denied. He admitted swindling thousands of clients out of billions of dollars in investments over decades. A court-appointed trustee has recovered more than $13 billion of an estimated $17.5 billion that investors put into Madoff's businesses at the time of Madoff's arrest. Fake accounts statements were telling clients they had holdings worth $60 billion. For decades, he's enjoyed an image as a self-made financial guru whose Midas touch defied market fluctuations. As a former chairman of the NASDAQ stock market, he attracted a devoted legion of investment clients from Florida retirees to celebrities such as Steven Spielberg, Kevin Bacon, and Hall of Fame pitcher Sandy Koufax. But his investment advisory business was exposed in 2008 as a multi-billion-dollar Ponzi scheme that wiped out people's fortunes and ruined charities and foundations. He became so hated he had to wear a bulletproof vest to court. So he pleaded guilty in 2009 to securities fraud and other charges, saying he was deeply sorry and ashamed. After several months living under house arrest at his $7 million mansion penthouse apartment, he was let off the jail in handcuffs to scattered applause from angry investors in the courtroom. So U.S. District Judge Denny Chen showed no mercy, sentencing Madoff to the maximum of 150 years in federal prison. So, the scandal also enacted a personal toll on the family. One of his sons, Mark, killed himself on the second anniversary of his father's arrest. And Madoff's brother, Peter, who helped run the business, was sentenced to 10 years in prison in 2012, despite claims he was in the dark about his brother's misdeeds. Madoff's other son, Andrew, died from cancer at age 48. Ruth is still living. Now, Madoff was sent to do what was amounted to a life sentence at Butler Correctional Complex, about 45 miles northwest of Raleigh. A federal prison listed his probable release date as November 11th, 2139. Man, unless he got damn Vandal Savage, that motherfucker.
Right.
139. In the year 2139, that motherfucker might as well have been a goddamn robot with a fucking.
Yo, when the boy getting them numbers like that, dog, that should be crazy, kid. Like, them 3-digit numbers, them big ass 3-digit numbers, man. Because I remember when I was a kid.
Damn, he'd have been Wolverine, bro.
I know.
That shit crazy,
I said, even if he was Wolverine, he'd still been old man Logan. He'd been 200.
Yeah, he'd been 200 years old.
Right.
That motherfucker.
Literally die in prison, bro. Literally die in prison. It's crazy.
That's 2 George Burns, bro. That's 2 George Burns lifetimes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that shit crazy, dog. That shit is crazy.
That motherfucker might as well have been Randy Savage.
Nah, like when they get them years, cause I remember when I was a young one, when we went to go to the visit to the jailhouse, to the prison, the boy used to tell us they had like 200, 300 years, dog. They're doing some armed robbery. You know, back in about 30 years ago, a nigga get caught, boy, you had to get in some real time off rip, just off from just being a nigga as well. So that shit was just crazy.
Hell yeah.
Do y'all remember that movie that came out on HBO about them? I think it was I think Robert De Niro played Bernie Madoff and Michelle Pfeiffer was Ruth.
Oh yeah.
I ain't see that. What is that shit called? I'll check it out.
I can't remember the name of the movie.
What's it about?
Hold on, I can pull that real quick. Hold
Oh,
on.
it was about the Bernie Madoff. I'll just
His situation and all that. Okay.
yeah. Robert De Niro was Bernie Madoff, and Michelle Pfeiffer was his wife.
Damn, dog. Hollywood be trying to make money off of some shit, boy. I know they make
It was
money off of
called
food too.
It was called The Wizard of Lies.
That's
Damn.
it. The Wizard of Lies.
The Wizard of Lies.
That shit, yo, look. It had to be a nigga who created that, dude. Like for real, that's smooth. I can't. The Wizard of Lies. That shit come out smooth. They had a black writer doing that. They had a black writer create that one.
All right, let's get back to basketball. For those of you just are not aware, those of you just came in the chat room, you know what I'm saying? We hour and a half deep, right? My brother to my left, Too Raw for TV, has been suspended for a week.
Damn.
So he's going to be providing content on my channel. Anyone that's subscribed to Too Raw for TV, can we make sure we get the message out so that way they don't miss whenever he goes live. Now I went on ticket page, huh?
No, I can say that. I can say LB dog, you a solid one for that, boy. Like for real, like you put that nigga on your channel and shit. Make sure you looking out. That's some real. That what type of community we need to have in our community. That type of movement and thinking like, yo, oh my dog down. Let me put my hand out, pick him up. You feel me? A lot of us don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? So like that's inspirational on some real shit. Not even trying to be cute with it, but like for real though, like.
No, I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I try to be a man of my word, I try to practice what I preach and stuff like that. Let's get back to basketball. You know what I'm saying? Sterling Young, what you think about Andre the Giant Drummond?
He started coming like Andrew Biden.
Andrew Biden?
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Hey LB.
What's up?
LB. I think I also saw that the police officer that shot Dante Wright was arrested.
Yeah, she got charged with second-degree murder.
Yeah.
Right,
Not second-degree manslaughter.
Second-degree murder.
Oh,
I read second-degree murder.
Nah, you know, bro, I ain't gonna lie, but you know, cops don't get murder. They always get manslaughter. That's why bro on a manslaughter right now, the one who killed George Floyd. He on a manslaughter. Like them boys don't get murder. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I know what you're talking about.
I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think. No, wait. I think this is just me. Okay. I think because of societal pressure, I think they might make an example out of Chauvin this time, bro. Like I know a lot of people say he's gonna get off.
I hope.
I think they're gonna make an example out of him this time. Like I don't think it's gonna be what it was before. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think he's gonna do some time. Just based upon the situation.
I feel you on that because the way how society is moving right now, it seems like they helping everybody else out, but besides the black man. So hopefully it'll be that as well, like they did everybody else. And you know, like I said, I'm not the type of person that like, yo, they need to like get life and anything. But now you kill somebody for a cop, you gotta do at least 10, regardless. You feel me? At least 10, because that's somebody's life, kid. That's
right.
You know what I'm saying? I know the job is tough and all that. However, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be middle ground. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people on the other side like, no. Like I've been hearing, you know, word I've been hearing a lot, overzealous. He was overzealous. Like, yo, stop. At the end of the day, when you let somebody who off people walk in handcuffs, you can't. Come on, bro. Nigga small. Like you feel me?
Second-degree manslaughter.
Yeah, bro. They won't do them murder. Like when I see murder, that's when that shit gonna be real. Like that's when society really changed and everything. Because at the end of the day, that wasn't. Like I said, they don't know how to like the guy who on trial right now for George Floyd. He should be on second-degree murder, but they got him on manslaughter, which is horrible. You feel me? And you know, I get it. They try to meet grounds with people who kind of always on that side. But if you human, if you got a soul, you'll be like, yo, this shit don't make no sense. Fuck that. And solve it like maturity and not be so hateful. You feel me? Because you gotta think about two lives you taking. The one who took the life and the one who already been taken. You feel me? You gotta think about both. That's how I'm seeing this society wise, bro. Like I'm hoping for the best.
All right, so get this, y'all. First-degree manslaughter can range up to 15 years in prison and $30,000 in fines. In most cases, the defendant will only serve 7 to 10 years. The sentence for a second-degree manslaughter can net a defendant up to 10 years in prison.
I'm telling you, man.
I just have a feeling, man. I just have a feeling that more and more people are starting to get tired. I mean, look, I know it's that noise that we always see with these racist people, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of people are starting to get a little tired of this. Even people that aren't black. Like, you know, seriously, I think some of them starting to just get tired of this, man. And I think it's going to be more pressure on them now to make an example out of these situations. Because if not, if you got people that just keep kicking on scot-free, what's the deterrent for cops to stop to still, like, what's the deterrent? They're still gonna, I accidentally shot him, this, that, or the third, you know, my gun discharged, even I was in fear of my life, all those bullshit excuses they keep giving. You gotta have some type of deterrent for these situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I hopefully they make an example.
Yeah, there's a deterrent, all right. Motherfuckers get on their job, and motherfuckers start prosecuting these bitches to the full extent of the law. And we're talking like life in prison type of shit.
That's what they really need, yeah.
With murder and start putting these guys away for life, and then and only then we can get the message. We're gonna get the message across. But until then, these actions will still continue, bro.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I just don't like. Only thing I just don't like about, like, I get what you're saying too, Raw. It just hurt more and more because it gotta take so many bodies to get to their attention. Like, you gotta get up to this amount. Like, oh my god, like they gotta go because you know what's so crazy nowadays? Like, I'm hearing people say, "Oh, I don't watch the news no more." That's now you being ignorant. Now you're not being informed. I'm not saying you had to look at the news. Go on the internet, do some research, find out what's going on around your surroundings. Not just say I don't watch the news. I'm gonna just be in this bubble, because when you be in that bubble, you hurting everybody else because you're not taking that acknowledgement, especially people who got power. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's just a human thing, bro. Like I don't really go around like saying like, you know, Black Lives Matter, because I know people will take that and run with it in so many different ways. It's just life, man. Like, I'm not even with all that shit. It's just like, yo, come on, bro. Like, where your spirit at? Like, don't you see this shit happening? Like, for real. And I think what it is that's making the difference is the kids. I think that's what is making the difference nowadays, because the kids are seeing it more, and they more active to the internet at a young age. Let's say you got kids got phones at 5 and 6. You don't want now them parents gotta kick it in the gear like, oh my god, like you seeing shootings like cops killing people and everything. They gonna start doing something now because they want their kids to be like, oh my god, like, mom, what are you doing? Mom, you're not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that generation that's helping kind of get it or give it more, but it's really like people in charge right now to make it flip on the other side. You know? Yeah, but that's pretty much what I had to say on that.
All right, so Sterling Young, JMJ 2121. I haven't heard from any of you guys. So
yeah.
All right, so what you got on this?
No, about the topic. Yeah. I was just playing about that Andrew Biden. I was playing. But Andre Drummond. I think he should have gone more. I think he should have won more points. I think he should score more. You know, on the Hornets. On the Hornets. You know, no, it's gonna tell me. To me, it's gonna be like when AD and Braun comes back, his numbers gonna go down. He's not gonna average the same like he was when he was with Cleveland, when he was in Pistons. So, no, to me, I think that the hypeness of him going to LA is gonna die down. It's gonna die down if he plays like this. So. No, to me, you better score more. You better score points. You better score whatever you can until they come back.
All right, JMJ, what's up, man? What you got on this?
Man, what's going on? LB, Too Raw. Wait, what? Sterling Young, what's going on, fellas? You know, with this output tonight, with this output the other night, That's Dennis Rodman numbers. And you're supposed to be taller than Dennis Rodman. And that's a fact, man. That's Dennis Rodman numbers.
Wait,
Damn.
wait, wait, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Robin was more impactful though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that. I know he was more impactful, but that's Dennis Rodman numbers like there, right there. You supposed to be
I know what you
winning.
mean.
And
I know what you mean.
Dennis Rodman's supposed to be winning. And Dennis Rodman was winning with Detroit. Dennis Rodman was winning with Chicago. He was winning with San Antonio. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a very depressing stat in a win. You know what I'm saying? In a win against the Charlotte Hornets. You know what I'm saying? So I know Rodman did his thing for the the last 10, 15 years when he was playing in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So so Drummond need to get it together. You're supposed to be taller than Rodman. You feel what I'm saying? You might as well say you might as well be Armand Gilliam or something like that. You might as well be Armand Gilliam with all that PJ Brown and all them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you, boy. Like that Dennis Rodman take, I don't know about Dennis Rodman, but I feel what you call it, as Young said, like Andrew Bynum. Like I could see him in that more of a role, closer to that than Dennis Rodman, because like Dennis Rodman was active on that defensive end like that, like not in the
Yeah.
paint active. He was more of like pull up on the, like he would play, like you feel me, like he'll stick the point guard, shooting guard. He'll play them positions. Like he
He
play
was
all
more
around
versatile
the position.
defensively.
Yeah, facts. And I think that's
Yeah.
totally different. That ocean to a river. You feel me? Like that shit totally different. Um, that's what I'm saying. S Young part when he said Andrew Bynum, like I feel more of that probably offense. They probably need to start feeding him more, as in like probably have like 3 or 4 plays. Because if you look at it now, it's like he just run into it's like they free, like they freestyle it when he come in the game. Like he just go in the paint and just freestyle sometimes. I don't really see a setup offense for him. They're not really rotating like when he in that paint like that, so he can like set up shooters, so he can really get a more clear, paint for him. They guys end up there. Oh, I gotta go protect their shooter now. You know what I'm saying? So like they gotta have a nice ass little playbook for Shaq Drummond, as they call him. So they kind of gassed his ass up when he got that. I think that what it was, the gas, like how they gassed him up. It's kind of fucking him up. You feel me? Because now everybody gonna be looking for like certain numbers for him, instead of him just like, you know what, what I'm saying, just vibing. And this is the toxicity that KD was talking about with LeBron. Like now that you come over there, if you don't perform to that level, they can be like, damn, Drummond, you tried. Damn, Drummond, you're not doing it. And they fucked them up. You feel me? You get that praise for a little bit, and then when you get out there, you're not up to that standard. It's like murder, 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 murder. Instead of like realizing that, yo, this is like third or fourth game with the team. They haven't had practice all season. It's a condensed season as well. So that's why you see a lot of teams being sloppy, because nobody's practicing. When they do practice, they can't go 100% because they're either the next day or the day after you got a game. You feel me? And then how the game moving now, as in too fast. That's why you see a lot of lower body injuries, which is insane. That way with Jamar. Murray. He was too like if you seen that injury he had when he went up for that rebound, he landed on that same leg that gave him that problem. He hopped and he landed on that one leg with all his power on that one leg getting that rebound. Instead of just slowing the game down, let the ball come to you because you ain't had nobody around you. And then you feel me, like start getting into your offense. That's a Jokic team. They should be setting that shit up. I know he trying to drive all the way in that shit, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's the playbooks. Like certain teams gotta start slowing this shit down. For real, for this injury. Cause if it keep going like this, like fast pace, you're gonna have a lot of low body injuries. You're gonna see a lot of niggas out for a whole year. And then this shit gonna be like NFL. Like you just gonna have certain players everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have like them actual superstars like that. But yeah.
You know what else too?
Hold up.
You're right. I think the pace does play a factor in injuries. I think it's also the way some of these guys are training, like the way that some of these guys train. Some of the older players were saying like when they were playing, like some of these guys are like weight training in a way that it might not be so conducive to basketball. Like a lot of these guys are carrying more
True.
body mass. You know what I'm saying? Like
True.
I think the average player right now is like 217, and back in the 80s it was like 205. So these guys are carrying like an additional 10 pounds of weight, which is muscle mostly, but that could play a factor on your joints. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And yeah, you know, it's different things. I'm not even gonna go into the PED thing, man. There's some guys that's
Yeah.
doing that, but
Yeah,
you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I think that plays a fact. Plus, this condensed schedule, yeah, is a
Yeah.
recipe for
Tough.
injuries.
Yeah,
uh
bro. They rushed
I
it.
mean,
I don't know. Like, go ahead, bro. My bad. Go ahead.
yeah. Like Wait what says it's definitely gassing to me is when they gassed him up. You know, first game he was hurt. And then that just tell you something. Like I feel like the pressure's on him now because the Lakers fans ain't no joke because they will go off on you. The thing is like is you can you perform and prove the people right. You know, that's just and then definitely the injuries and mostly we said feet to the big man. I definitely see that because I know yeah Kuzma scored 24 points, but I feel like they should have given Drummond the more ball because that's reliable also. Well, you always got to rely on your big man as well to go put him on the post and let him perform. But I feel like they didn't done that. So
Like you said, bro. Like when I was taught coming up, it was pound the paint so niggas can go attack the paint, so that shit open up more shots. But niggas nowadays is taking more shots than pounding the paint. That's why you had niggas like at 50 clips, 49 clips, at 30 clips of threes attempts. Like God, leave, bro. Like you feel me? Like attack, like half of that can go into the paint, and then like that other half be made. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna be wide the fuck open. You know what I'm saying? Like compared to you just trying to like act like you going into the paint, but they already on your ass on that defense on like already by that 3 point because every team is doing it, and that will make it the game so boring because every team is trying to be replica of the next team. So you're not really seeing a difference of dynamics of different plays. That's why you get like I used to like you don't see the value of like you don't really see a Tony Allen in this specialty nowadays because everybody's so focused on offense. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see like a Sean Marion who's like beastly on the defense and then he get the wide open threes, hit them hoes. You feel me? But now you got people out here forcing it. You know what I'm saying? And then when you force it, they're gonna make the game longer. Long guys rebounds, and you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like a recipe of disaster. That why you got so many. That's why I said certain teams that running that type of offense, they're gonna get exposed in the playoffs because playoffs is all about game tape. This is where the NFL mindset come in when you watch film on the nigga. Like you got 7 games. You know what I'm saying? So this is like that whole film setup. So like that's what I'm saying. Like teams like Atlanta, I'm worried about. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're gonna get past the first round because of how they infiltrate their offense. And like I feel like college should have been like at least an all-star this year. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't feed them properly. You know what I'm saying? And they try to like play both, but you're not really gonna help. The only way you can open up one and when you dominate one. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
mhm.
Yeah,
Hey, also too raw. I ain't gonna lie. Like I talk about like LeBron. Like I forgot to talk about that with you. Like so, this is what I meant when I was talking about LeBron and KD. Like I get what you're saying. Like when it comes to competition level, like yo, you should stay with that team and do all that, and go through the mud and you get that. That's the value of championship. I can see what you're coming from, and I respect that on all levels. I'm not gonna say but I'm gonna say however. However, I feel like what LeBron did is the reason why we like him, like his game even more because he learned how to develop and open it up. So when he went to Miami, like the basketball gods always do us right. I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like the basketball, like for his first year he went up there, he thought it was gonna be sweet. Like how we thinking like, oh, they're gonna be easy ass championship, all that bum. But that shit bust down to his face when he got to Dallas, and then when you see a complete team coming at you like that, and that shit fucked them up. So for like I think that moment right there made LeBron even better. If he would have stayed at Cleveland and tried to do all that and then failed all the time and not really getting that one championship, maybe he wouldn't be that same player he is now because that failure of devastation where he went through and then all the world coming at him as well developed his game even better. He became a better shooter. He became a better defender. Like so that made his game even higher. Now with KD, OKC, like a lot of people don't talk about OKC front office. Like first of all, one the nigga KD loyal to Seattle Seahawks. You feel me? Like that's who like really drafted this nigga. OKC new
Supersonic,
owner,
Supersonic,
huh?
You talking about
I
the
Supersonic,
meant the
Sonics?
Supersonics, right?
Yeah,
Supersonic.
Seattle. Yeah, I said Seattle. Yeah, Seattle Supersonics.
You say the Seattle
Seattle.
Seahawks.
Hey, shit, my bad. Appreciate the correction. Um, like I said, so he got drafted by that team. They switched it up on him, or we gonna move to Oklahoma. Fuck them up on that off rip. But everybody
Mm.
said that's how the team moved. That's how team ownership moved. Y'all gotta abide to it. You feel me? So he said, okay, this man played out his contract and he read up again and played out his contract for like 8, 7 years, 9 years. Uh, uh, they knew that Westbrook, like Magic Johnson, even said it in Game 3 or Game 2 of the final when he said that was the best performance I've ever seen from a point guard. If the greatest of all time is telling you that, bro, and letting you know that he don't have a point guard. So KD is supposed to develop his skills, which he said like this past weekend. It's all about development. That's why we appreciate him even more because if you look at his craft, it's all about making it better. They paid they paid so many niggas out here in the game, but did they ever develop a better game? No. You haven't seen people. So when he went to Golden State, yeah, on a human shit, like damn, dog, like what the fuck just happened? Them niggas just beat you, and you went to that team. Like on a human shit, then instantly you'd be like, damn. But you looking at his craft, and if you want to develop his craft even better, okay, I got somebody I can play with. I'm learning how to move without the ball. If you look at OKC levels of years, when one person had the ball, you watch. The other person watch this, you do that. Bum. He learned how to actually develop movement. He learned how to play with different players to see that. And then he big dog the players he played with. It wasn't like he was like in the same level with them boys. He showed that he better than them boys. So he elevated his game even with better players around him, which make it even make more sense. You feel me? And then what happened? Like you feel me? Like you know what I'm saying? He busted Achilles because he went out there for his team. Like when people say, "Oh, he ain't got no 2 rings," are you crazy? Like this nigga sacrificed his basketball game for a third championship for a team. So like for when people say, "Yo, his rings don't count," or he took the easy route, man, for him to play that game and for him to be that good, he had to work on his craft every day. So it'd be a disservice for people, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that's why I ask people, do y'all play ball or do y'all actually go out there and shoot around and shit and see that work you put it in because you'll see that development like damn, like that like 2 days ago I've been missing. Now I've been coming out here every day shooting my shit wetting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the work you put into it at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say just them two. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even talking about nobody else who move around and shit. But you see
Right.
from them two, from where they was at before they came to them teams, you be like, okay, but you see that they increased, like they went on another level. That's the different part about it. Like, I get if they was just the same mad player. KD from OKC went to Golden State, still the same player, but he actually developed and became better. LeBron went to Miami before Cleveland. He actually developed. He learned how to do this and everything. Like, it's like trial and tribulation.
But
That's
let me
how I
ask you
feel.
this. Let me ask you this. How much of that was by him just going to another team? I'm talking about LeBron going to Miami. Do you think it was just him going to another team, or was it him playing under Pat Riley and knowing the culture there, knowing that he preaches, peak physical conditioning, knowing that he don't play that diva shit, and also, he preaches, being, as best as you can on both ends of the court. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's that
Nah, nah.
too.
No, facts. That's what I'm saying. Like he got somebody in his ear to tell him about basketball. You know what I'm
Bitch.
saying? You know what I'm saying? Pat Riley got in his ear and told him about basketball. Just like how Jerry West on a low got in KD ear talking about basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got people who been in the game, and you got the logo, and you got the champion for the Showtime Lakers and everything. You in the game, you've been doing this all this time for 7, 8 years. You're not really getting nowhere. You're not really seeing development for your team. They say they're getting pieces, but they're just getting pieces not to better your game, because you gotta get better. Like, if I get a rebounder, and I get a passer, and I get this and I get that, how can I be able to learn them skill sets if I already got that place right there? You know what I'm saying? I need somebody else who can be able to rotate with me, so I can be able to learn and become a better passer, so I can be able to be in that rebound position, so I can be able to be at this 3-point specialist position, and I can learn each steps. By just me being in the just me being just this one right here, and just being the head of the hunch, I'm not gonna be able to learn all my other my other skill sets about the game that I should know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta learn sometimes that I gotta move without the ball. I can't just wait till them boys, set up a pick and get me the ball in the paint, because I'm trying to make them better too. You know what I'm saying? How can
Right.
I make somebody better if I just had them in just one, one area what they only can do? You only can rebound. Stay at rebounding. Nah, I need to learn how to score. I need to learn how to do that. So for you to learn that, you gotta learn how to play with people who know how to do that as well. And that's how I'm seeing
Now
LeBron. Like,
I agree with that
yeah,
because I remember in the interviews leading up to him when he first went to the Warriors, he was talking about the way that Golden State played, and he thought that was very intriguing compared to the system they had in OKC. And he was like basically saying, like, in OKC, I'm the only guy that can shoot. My role will be different with the Warriors. And you did see, because earlier on, even though Durant was winning scoring titles, his weakness was his playmaking ability and
true,
his defense too. But
true.
he worked on that over time. But all those things became better under Golden State. So I'm like this. Initially, I didn't like it, as most
Yeah,
people did who are older, because we come from a different era where you don't think about joining a team that beats you. That's like
true.
unthinkable. But things happen for a reason. It worked out for him. I don't hold no ill will toward Durant now. Now, look, is he stacking the deck now? Yeah. But I think he's doing it out of spite to the media. That's my take on that. Like, I think he's doing it now to just spite the media, because he sees the agenda. He sees how they are, kind of going against him, and they're not consistent with how they feel about, like, okay, with one team stacking the deck, they're a problem. But if another guy potentially is getting superstars, it's okay. So he said, okay, well, fuck you guys. That's how I see it with Durant now.
I feel you on that. All right, I can definitely see it from your point of view. Definitely can see that window and look at and see that view. What I'm seeing from, all right, so for me, all right, I'll go back to '07 draft year. When Portland was supposed to responsibly, LA was already, all right. So LA, he wanted to play with KD all the way back then, because he missed a year. Like, he was like a year ahead KD before KD became there at Texas for a freshman. So they missed out on that. He loved the game. They had admired each other back then and there. Portland, Portland fucked up. Like, let me tell you how Portland fucked up, and that's why I don't really like. I don't understand what Portland is at right now. If they would have drafted KD, they would have had KD and LaMarcus already building that duo, which would have been a crazy ass duo, because they game is complementing each other. Now, like I said, like, that's the reason why I see him. That's why when LaMarcus was like, "Yo," like, when I got out, KD like, "Yo, shoot me." Could they been like long? They go from alumni off rip from Texas. You know how people are strong with the alumni situation. I see people branded with a sorority groups and everything. So that shit's serious about that, as in the connection flow. Um, and then also with Blake Griffin, I can't argue about stacking the deck, but for me to stack the deck, all of them got to be able to highly be on that same level as you. And I don't think all of them is on that same level as KD. Only person I can see that's on that same team on the level of KD is probably give him a couple of years, Kyrie, because Kyrie is not finally learning to, like, Kyrie is on that level of development game to the next level, because everybody forget Kyrie like 27, 28. He got like another 10 years. Like, you feel me? And like, his game is just like, injuries been fucking him up for his development. But now, since he's just getting into the flow of it, Now he can maybe ease off a little bit more, as in like trying to take over. Because you gotta remember, he was trying to really like his development got like stumped when LeBron came back to Cleveland, because he already was setting up for him and Gordon Hayward to come there, and they were finna do some things like him, Gordon Hayward, in Cleveland. But LeBron gave that indication he going back. That fucked up the whole plan, and now he became now his growth had to be slowed down, because now you gotta play a part to a piece of this player. You know what I'm saying? See, what LeBron did is, when he was in Miami, I think Pat Riley was trying to push him into like I feel like the reason why he left Miami is because damn, I just feel like dog he ain't
No,
dog, like
it's just that he wanted.
how you what you felt like. Yeah, let me ask you a question too, Raw and Young. What
Yeah, go
do
ahead.
you
What's
feel
your
like
question?
the reason? What's the reason why you think LeBron left Miami?
Because he
Like,
want
why
to
do
get
you
rid of
think
his person.
you think it was the media who really played a part of that, making him say like you need to get it your own? Do you really gotta go back to Cleveland, or do you really feel like it was something else?
I'm trying to I think it's a couple of things. I think that he could tell that team was going to start. Well, his teammates, Wade was starting to decline.
He's getting older.
Yeah, he was getting older. He wasn't the same player he was in 2010. I think he was intrigued by what was going on in Cleveland. He saw a young Kyrie Irving there. He never had a player like that. His first stint in Cleveland, he never had a player of that caliber. And I think that the criticisms of people saying that he had to get a super team to win, and also I think that part of it. And then another thing, I always say this in my videos. I think if he never tried to bring a title to Cleveland, it would have haunted him for the rest of his life. Because he was an Akron boy. He was drafted there. He played there his first 7 years. And if he never got it completed, it would have been like something, how like people say it's a void when players never win a championship, and it's kind of like something in there, it's always like something got carried around.
Yeah, I
I
know
think
what you mean.
if he never brought a championship to Cleveland or tried to go back and bring one, it's something that could have, like, I don't want to say haunted him, but it would have been something that would have been brought up a lot. So I think those were motivating factors. Right.
Go ahead.
So I think those was motivating factors for why he went to Cleveland.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
To me, my opinion, like exactly, Wayne was getting older, and him and Spoelstra, they was having a little differences, and I think to me, I think him and Pat must
that too.
Yeah,
he likes control. He likes to be more in control.
Well, yeah, he wants to control. He was trying to control, and then Pat was like, no, and then because that 2000 season was very, very draining, because everybody was breaking down, but him in 2014. And Pat wasn't bringing any type of true talent or youth once he got Van Benem. That was after that, but before that, no, he didn't have any true talent or youth. So
was Bosch already having the blood clots issue? Was that the year after?
That was
like
way. That's when Brown was going. Yeah, because after Brown was going,
that was like 2 years later.
Yeah, and LeBron he had to go, and the Pat ego allowed that to fall. It was egos, and because you have, I mean, that's to me that's the reason why he left Miami. Like one of the reasons why he left.
Thinking about it now, like, all right. So first of all, shout out to the Spurs that year. Like, 2014 Spurs, they spanked some ass. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Because that average of like they destroyed the Miami Heat was devastating. That's like that could be another reason why you left. Like, shit, this team got mudded by the Spurs. Like, really, that year they got mudded.
He could sense it. He probably could sense the slippage.
Yeah, he probably seen that shit. But I feel like growth of his brand. I think knowing that, okay, I can go back to Cleveland. If I go back to Cleveland, he's gonna do whatever I kind of want in a concept way, as in like getting what I need in that. When you're talking with Pat Riley, he gonna give you a tuck and pull. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get LeBron. LeBron don't really see. Hey, Dave. You know what I'm saying? The owner from Gilbert. You know what I'm saying? Whatever his name is.
Right.
I mean,
Dan
Caucasian guy.
Gilbert.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I want to get this guy in. Want to bring this guy in. Yo, like you feel me? Like what he did, cause you could see from what he did, like as in how he was talking about Kevin Love. Next thing you know, Kevin Love in Cleveland. Like he had control over his team. Like I think once LeBron learned how to pass, rebound, that's how you instruct. Okay, now he was able to control the whole thing like a GM, as in like now if I get the certain player to do that because I know how to do all of them. You know what I'm saying? But if I still put this
Mm-hmm.
person here, they will see me as in like, yo, he can do it all. Nobody else can do it, but he can still do it all as well as like I can put these guys in a certain position that I need them at to just boost up. I think it was a brand thing, and I'm not gonna lie, like we needed somebody like LeBron as a brand to escalate as in like a black man. Like that's why, like at the same time, that's why I don't never hate. You feel me? Because what he did, because I'm from South Florida. You feel me? And what he did for
Mm-hmm.
Trayvon, that shit was deep. You feel me? What he did for him, like I went to school with him. That's my classmate. So that was deep. You know what I'm saying? So like having that type of figure, because you're not gonna have a figure like a KD who just like straight raw with it.
Oh
Just
wow,
keep it
you knew
like
Trayvon Martin.
yeah, he was my classmate. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
class.
definitely.
Okay.
Cause me, Trayvon, we used to we wasn't teammates, no, but we was on the same,
Yeah, he went to Carrot City.
football team.
Carrot
No, cause
City.
no, that time he played in the Bulldogs. He was playing Bulldog. No day Bulldog, and I was a no day Bulldog as well. No, but we was probably like different ages.
Oh yeah, I thought I went to high school with him like that. Like I was there,
Yeah.
that was our 10th grade year when he went up there. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, like definitely. So that hit something. Like I said, like you gotta have a certain person that can be that figure, and he been that figure, clean, no fuck ups, got a wife, got family. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like it give the best ability, and it give us brothers a chance. You know what I'm saying? Compared to not just having nobody up there. You know what I'm saying? Or
You know
just
what I
having
find
it blank.
funny, man? You know what I find interesting about this country, man, is a guy like LeBron James, right, who hasn't ever been in trouble with the law, uh, is married, has kids, is a good father, good husband. I mean, I don't know whether he cheated on his wife. There's been no concrete evidence he did, and it's none of my damn business. Great
Right.
basketball player, great
You feel me?
businessman, entrepreneur. He's building a brand
He
for
put in people's
generational wealth.
You feel me?
Right.
That's crazy.
He's great. Yeah, right. He helps his people, great philanthropy. But for some reason, a lot of people hate him, right? Hate his guts. Then you got Robert Downey Jr. There's nothing wrong with him, but, you know, he was a drug addict, borderline criminal for one period of time in his life because he's a drug addict. But, everybody loves him because he's Iron Man. He's beloved. It's just that, like, what I'm trying to say is, we already have enough disadvantages being black. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind criticizing LeBron James on the basketball level for some stuff, but you know how, like, a lot of people on the right wing, they just go overboard with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the right wing, we know what their agenda is. So that's why, like, I criticize players, but I'm not going to give certain people the satisfaction of going in on LeBron the way they want me to. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you on that, cause that shit hurt.
Right.
Cause like sometimes
Yeah.
cause like I said, cause like in my mindset, if the world was just all equal and none of that shit there, that'd be cool. But it's not. You know what I'm saying? Then you got people who like they'll use that and they'll feed off of that and they when you hit like it's that spikeness. Even though you talking about ball and how you go in there to, but a lot of people talk they go from ball and they go into the character and they go into the individual. And that's when that's when you go in muddy waters. Cause like you gotta actually, cause sometimes you gotta actually know these niggas. You gotta actually meet them. You know what I'm saying? Cause like from the far, like for example, what they do to Kyrie, dog, that shit hurt. This man talk about empowerment, everything. He do all that for that shit, but they call him a dummy bird. They call him all that shit. That shit hurt. You know what I'm saying? Man played great game. I don't even hear nobody talking about MVP level. Not tonight, not tonight. Another reason why I love this game right now tonight, even though KD and Harden not playing, you gotta acknowledge KD. You gotta acknowledge Kyrie tonight, baby. Like I know they be trying to say he this and that, but like just from his skill set, he playing way better defense. Like he's in tune with it. Like he's really into his teammates. Like the media is so bad because they'll make you think, oh, he was like Boston didn't win him. None of the players act like that towards him, bro. Every time you see him play against Boston, them players be like, yo, they hug. Like you feel me? If let's be honest, if he was in that Eastern Conference Finals against Cleveland, bro, they would have went to the chip. They would have went to the
Right.
chip. Cause
Right.
he was in like they try to underplay his game at Boston. Like yo, he was a big piece there. It's just that communication, and then you got a lot of certain players that like when they hear the media, they go holler at you like, yo, is this true? When you got players on the Nets, like when you hear this from the media, that's not him. Because I know who he is when I come in the practice field with him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the
Right.
difference between different teammates. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see him trust, like his trust game is serious in Brooklyn since he got here from day one. You know what I'm saying? Because he's able to be himself. And even though that you got the critics and the commenters and the bad people who write in media and everything try to like slander him, you won't have them teammates that pull up to him and be like, yo, this true? And I think that would kind of happen in the Warriors with KD. KD would have stayed in the Warriors if the Warriors would have if they front office and if they coaching wasn't so much into it and just let them play the game and not let the media control what it is. Because I think the media
The
got into
media,
what the Warriors the media
yeah,
got.
yeah.
I think the media destroyed. I'm not gonna lie to you. The media destroyed such a great team that could have been static. Like we've been talking about now how people say Jordan and Pimpin. You've been saying KD and Steph, like on some real shit. Even though you can say that now because their game together was beautiful. But I'm saying even
Hmm.
the longevity of it would have been even tremendous. But what it is,
Yeah.
they let the media
Yeah.
get into it, and certain people like I said, like when I heard on KD podcast when he was talking about when he was talking about how like the Warriors handled the situation with him and Draymond, like he was talking about yo, if they would have just said yo, let me and Draymond handle this instead of y'all trying to involve, now you get him a suspension. Now you got the media getting more news to feed off of, more news to just keep going off of, and that's what the front office Warriors did. They kind of fed the news, which wasn't news, but they, you know, how the media turned it into something bigger than what it was, and then that
Right.
how seeped into certain players' minds. Oh, you gonna fuck up my legacy. You gonna fuck up this. I'm better than them. Nah, come on. They let that shit get into them, and they fuck up that team. And that's why I said like, yo, that's like that's why you gotta be more than just like game and talent. It's all about mental and trust. Like that shit be serious, bro. Cause the media shit, that's like the nut. Like if you ever look, like I don't watch football ever since Colin Kaepernick did what he did on some real shit. Cause that shit was true, and like you can see how like you let dudes who beat women, like guns, all this shit to females and shit and all that. You let that shit come back, but like somebody who just speaking the truth, that shit, you know what I'm saying? That's painful. That's why I gave up on that shit, dog.
Yeah.
That shit,
Yeah.
that shit was that. I understand that shit, and then people trying to defend it, and like it's weird, dog. Like, it's so mad weird, bro. So I just stay out of it. I don't watch the game at all. No Super Bowl, none of that shit. Don't care for it. Um, but yeah, dog. Like how the media like like I wish how they did pick the game of football. I wish they do that to basketball, so they can have more teams like a Denver and Utah on blocks instead of the same ass team, but about not even their gameplay, but their narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even talk about the game like they should be. They talk about a narrative like, oh, if he wasn't here, is this team better? Is that and that? Instead of saying, yo, Utah last night, they had 35 rebounds on the backboard, 10 more rebounds than this
Yeah.
team. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it, and like Tim, like what's his name, Tim Lager. He should be having his own show. How he break down basketball? They be hiding that nigga for a fucking like 2 minute breakdown and just all right, you done for the week. Like what the fuck? Yo, you need shows like that can actually talk about the game and not just be so narrative because that's also boring too. You just seeing the same narrative. You see Lakers on it, they didn't even play. They talking about the Lakers. And they don't even talk about basketball. They're like, hey,
No,
If
they
this
don't talk
team
about the
had
game. They
him,
just
they don't. That's what I'm saying, and that was fucking up the game too. Like that's why I think people not really into like it's just gossip. It's gossip. It's like bro, shut the
yeah.
fuck up.
It's basically
Like
these.
yeah,
It's
like right.
basically these things. These things are slowly turning into like a scripted reality show, almost. Like they think people just want to hear arguments and debate and screaming at each other. And I mean, that stuff can be entertaining at times, man, but only in spoonfuls, man. Like I be wanting to look at these things to learn. I don't be wanting to look at these things just to always hear a whole bunch of narratives and I can tell when someone's bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? I can tell when
Hmm.
someone's trying to promote something or promote people to me, or and like how they're trying to make basketball almost like an individual thing now. Kawhi versus LeBron or
Yeah,
Harden
dog.
versus this guy. I hate that shit, man.
Bad.
And I hate how they trying to also. And I noticed that what's your call be doing this shit. She's real good at this. A sneaky bitch. Rachel Nichols.
Nichols, quick,
Yeah, I can't. I
Yeah,
don't
her,
like her,
yeah.
man.
quick,
They
quick.
always
She
trying to
quick with it.
create. Yeah,
She quick
they
with it
always
too,
trying to
dog.
create like beefs, like Harden versus Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sad.
I don't like shit like that, man. Like I mean, man, that's no.
Let's look at the game and see who they're doing the best. Let's not call out these random ass names so we can just focus on those. Cause you like it'd be like so many other players like kid from on I forgot his name Trent. He was on Portland, but he went to the Raptors. That boy dropped like 44 the other night, bro. Like what?
Oh, Gary
Like
Trent
you?
Jr.
Yeah. Oh man, he coming. He coming. Like real talk.
Oh
Like
yeah,
they don't know how to like narrative this type of stuff into look at this team game. Like this is how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I think that was fucked up Harden too, though. I think Harden let like when they were talking about her MVP, and then you heard him in that interview. Yeah, I'm MVP. And then that game he had a hammy. He knew he should have stepped out and say, all right, let me just vibe, let me just do that. No, I want to play every game I can, bro. Come back when you good. He came back too early. Now what happened? Now he out. He been out since what 10 days since then. You know what I'm saying? Like
something like that.
and
Yeah,
then I peeped what you talking about with Rachel because she even asked KD, like James Harden playing good, all this dog. Who's the MVP? You're like, look, man, I think you got a lot of players out there right now who's like, opportunities for that right now. You know what I'm saying? And he just he threw her shit off. He threw her the
right,
fuck off, and like you feel me? So niggas like I like that shit. He ain't fall for the trap. He ain't fall for like what you were talking about, trying to make this shit into like a versus type of shit. Cause I see what you
right.
talking about. She's sneaky with that shit. That's what I'm talking about. Caught her with that
Because
shit.
you
I'm like,
talk to her, because you'll talk to her and she's smiling and trying to look all pretty, and you get conned and coerced into being honest. No,
mm,
meanwhile, she just waiting for you to say something that they can
controversial.
distort or yeah,
Hmm.
or something they can amplify to make it seem like you boasting. Well, and they don't even put it into context that she asked the question. They'll just put the soundbite where you saying, "Yeah, I think I'm the best player in the NBA." I mean, I think I'm the MVP. I think I have a real good case. It's like you just boasting. Then other players feel like, "Oh, so this nigga think he better than me." Da, 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 da. So what he trying? That's how they do that, man. That's why I don't like the media, man.
Fact.
Especially now.
I seen
But
that shit this morning. I seen that shit this morning with Ben Simmons when they were talking about Ben Simmons saying that it's only one ball, you gotta play defense, and they cut him off, but he was still talking. I'm like, yo, y'all not even gonna do good on your side, bite? Like you gonna just still show the nigga was still talking? Like you not even gonna finish it? Y'all sick. Yo, y'all sick as fuck for that. You feel me? So I know, bro. I know that how they trying to do that shit. That's why I don't pay attention. I pay attention to the court. That's how you know the difference.
yeah. Hey, but I'm gonna have to end this though, man. I'm fucking
Yeah,
starving,
facts,
man.
facts, facts.
I've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
starving
yeah, yeah.
for
Do
the
your
last
thing.
30 minutes.
Yeah. Now I feel you. I feel you, dog. Good chopping it up, dog. Appreciate it, man. Shout out
Yeah,
to Young too, man. LB, everybody in the chat. Shout out to all y'all, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate the convo, dog.
yeah. No problem, man. It's good talking to y'all, man. I really appreciate, LB letting me use this platform while, I'm saying I'm under this in the doghouse on YouTube. But I'll be back in probably next Wednesday, I guess. Next Wednesday or Thursday on my channel, Too Off of TV. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys aren't subscribed to me, please subscribe to my channel. And I want you guys to come over here and support the brother LB, man, and tell your friends about his channel, because we're trying to get him to 1,000 subs so he can start finally being compensated for his hard work here on
Facts.
YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So peace
no
to the
doubt.
panel. Yeah, no doubt, man.
Salute.
So peace to everybody that's that's young. Peace to everybody that listen to the show. And y'all have a good evening, man. Stay safe. All right now. Peace.